Must be now. But welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 355. Today is on crop circles and UFO videos. And hopefully everything's running okay since the last Windows 10 update. And I hope everybody had a good Christmas out there. Ours was a fine day. Ours was a fine day here in New Zealand. A nice hot day, no snow, and a nice Christmas dinner. It wasn't too hot, which generally has been in the past. It was like an overcast day. It was lovely. Over 8 though, as usual. And yeah, Charles, you were saying.
Yeah, I said you got rain today as well, haven't you? Heavy rain all day.
Yeah, been raining non-stop for the last 3 days, really.
Yeah. Not good. We had a dry Christmas day. It's raining the other side of that.
I'm not sure if anyone's out there joining us today. I got 00 here for some reason.
We're supposed to have a big storm coming in tomorrow. It's more over Robert's side of the country.
I must be up to the hello parts.
Yep.
Hello. Good to be back. I'll be back. Always back, guys. You can't kick a dog when he's down. Okay. There's been a few attacks on my credibility and personality. You know the rules. No hardcore swearing on the side. No trolling. No promoting fraud channels that we debunk. Just have a lot of fun. And enjoy the live video analysis. We will add chapters after the live stream, but we really need more of these BitChute users. We're getting up to 800, like I said, we almost might do by Christmas, but we're a bit short there for 15 subs. And as I got to 2441 on YouTube, just like the past 5 weeks, it drops down 6 subs instantly. So I'm not sure what's going on there with YouTube, but they're playing games, I think. So today we're going to talk about crop circles. Haven't really planned much in advance, but we'll just go over a few bits and just see how we go, you know. So, I'm not sure if anyone knows much about crop circles, but we have covered them in the past, and I think it's always good to recap it and then talk about some of the past events that happened with crop circles. I'll just bring up the editor. It's better to explain it with the editor. I've actually done some research in this, science-wise. As you know, I have a Bachelor in Science in Info Technology. Half that degree was actually part of science and maths. So you don't just do computers in your degree, you have to do other topics that interact with the computer field itself, and you have to do theoretical thinking outside the box, Turing machines, and all sorts of other crazy computer languages. And then I did also a college degree in business computing, which was linked to industry, but I didn't get a job out of it. But I did get recognized, and I did get a job looking after electrotechnology department, which trains people to run factories, computer robots and all that sort of stuff. Very high tech stuff. I had to manage all the software on the platform, and get it working. A lot of it was not network aware, which means it wasn't designed to run as training software, so I had to do some clever batch work and security access and using the local hard drives on the machines to get things to work properly. And also I was part of CAD-CAM and was the king of getting it working the best on the minimum technology we had back then. So they used to have another computer section in the university there, which they called college at the time, but it got university status while I was there. And I did actually get my qualifications there, and it got upgraded to a university degree from a diploma. But the other universities weren't happy, it's this internal politics. But I did get it from a credible university here, Canterbury University, one of the most respected universities worldwide, where they hire Kiwis from, as well as the next university would probably be down south there in Dunedin, where they do Weka Works, I think it's called, is it? Where they do all the 3D and animation stuff. So yeah. So let's get on to the topic of crop circles and apply some science.
You're a computer geek. I keep saying you're a computer geek.
Yeah, but I was.
Don't expect us to keep up with everything now.
I was asked to do training, and so I stood up in front of 40 students, adult students, to train them on computer fundamentals and how it works with graphics. And
well, you've taught me some stuff since I've been on here.
So I am a real trainer. I know how to train in lay terms and break it down for people. A lot of scientists, the PhD, they're just useless on training. They're not able to convert their high level knowledge down to a level that everybody can understand. They expect you to be able to be like them. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And who out there knows what quantum mechanics actually is? So you know what I mean. There's people out there that run UFO channel. They run channels that's linked to UFOs. Alien Scientist comes to mind. There's probably other ones out there. Who is a nice guy, and he talks very fast, and he sort of mumbles as well, and tries to get across what he's thinking, but he does it in a way that's not. I don't think is lay terms. It's not up to my standards. But
you're a good teacher.
Horses for courses. He's got quite a few subscribers now, and he's getting lots of donations. So he must be doing something right that's appealing to some people out there. But me, I've always been open-minded and skeptical at the same time. So we know that our science obviously has incorrectness in it, and if you base a new principle based on old stuff which they think is conclusive, it turns out to be wrong, such as the Big Bang and isotopes and all that is based on the age of the universe. Everything else is thrown out, right? We've heard about carbon dating being wrong now, because it's based on the amount of C14 in the atmosphere, and of course that changes over thousands of years. We had the dinosaurs with high carbon-14 in the air, and then it went down for some reason, and they died off, and then we popped up, and now we're creating machines that make C14 in the atmosphere. Well, we actually destroy a lot of the ozone and change the amount of C14 in the air and all that sort of. So it changes the age dating, right? So they had to look at
slowly destroying ourselves.
They had to look at, as we found out, other isotopes of other radioactive chemicals found in products like stone and stuff to be able to date it properly. But yeah, carbon dating has limited range, but I still have my doubts on how accurate it is. So our science has got a lot of flaws in it, and you should always be skeptical. All this thing about time travel and bending space and all that sort of stuff, right? It may be nothing like that, and it might be just other conclusions that we're seeing that we haven't noticed. Like gravital lensing. There's as I've talked about in the past, about bending light around the sun's atmosphere, because as we know, atmosphere keeps going out into space around an object. And the sun has that as well, has like an atmosphere that keeps going out into space. And of course, as you know, as light passes through particles of gas, it bends it, just like gravity lensing would do. So there's other theories out there that is actually quite plausible and can be experimented with to prove it. And of course, that doesn't go very well with the Big Bang scientists that want to believe that the universe was created from a singularity, as they call it, right? Comes something from nothing. Which goes against our principle of energy conversion.
Yeah.
Right. It's possible that it comes from a pinlight of thing when another universe out there collided with ours and created our universe in the process. Who knows? This is what I'm saying. Always question everything and the way we look at things. And of course, it might. Yeah, it might be like an expanding bubble, and it's still expanding and growing faster, but it might then slow down and then retract again. So there's all sorts of theories out there. So on to crop circles. As you know, wheat, they talked about wheat not being crushed by the foot, because normally you have the wheat stem that goes up like here, and you have like a bit of wheat at the top of it, like a seed pod. Probably should get a graphic for it, probably. I'm not sure if you've seen a wheat thing, but it's kind of hairy looking thing. Let's see, what can we use for that? Circle, probably. At the top is the seed head. Now, a lot of the skeptics say that they use boards on the bottom of the feet to bend over this thing. So, I need the other one. So they bend it around. Let's see if I can bend it. Bring that down. Oh, you know what I mean. That'll do. So when they do the boarding, they squash it down and it forms these patterns in the ground. Yep. And of course, a lot of the researchers say that's not the case for all of them. So I'll just go over that. Crop circles. So we'll just get some ones up here. And as you can see, we've got not just round circles anymore, but elaborate designs. And of course, people think that's aliens communicating with us, trying to tell us something. But have we got any basic ones here? They used to call it the devil or something. Here it is. 1678 pamphlet on the Moan devil, which was the earliest crop circles. But back in that day, they used to have a lot of rituals, and religious people used to go out in lanterns, and I'm pretty sure they would go into crop circles and walk around in circles, right, chanting. So who knows? So they may stamp down on the cornfields there, ruin some crops in the process. But also I think these things can happen naturally. We're seeing it with some of the UFO cases out there. Some of them may be produced by UFOs, but I think some of the basic ones we've seen, which are valid, are the ones that create the basic circles on top of lakes using lily pads and all that sort of stuff. or grasses, long grasses, you know, weed grasses in the water, where it spins around, creates a vortex, and it somehow bends down the stems. So there could be some of the basic ones could be related to UFOs and not humans, or natural occurrences. So we're trying to look at the truth of all this, because there's a lot of garbage out there. And of course, we've had a lot of crop circle makers come forward years later saying that they created it, and they've got the photographic evidence to prove that they made it. And all these experts that were saying it was made by UFOs kind of look stupid now. And of course, they're all over the world, and they communicate by telephone and internet and organize events. So it happens in multiple countries at the same time. Talks about father's legacy, you know, crop circle inventor, fields of dreams, the crop circle man. I was hoping to find ones that are coming forward. Normally Scott Brando puts them up when they talk about a circle that they made. Crop circle makers, UK maybe. Obviously it's good for tourism, because it's just mentioned there. Where was it now? Here. National Geographic. The Art of a Hoax. There you go. That's back in 2009, right? Secret weapons, but something magical. So let's see what they're saying here. So a lot of people go into these thinking there's magic energy in them, lay down on them, hear buzzing sounds and all that sort of stuff, right? Me, I was always skeptical of them. Not sure if that one's talking about the makers of them coming forward. Scott Brando normally puts up a bit up on his channel. You probably can search it on Twitter. Me, I never really pay much attention to him, but we'll be talking about it today anyway. So where's my Twitter page? That one. Oh, actually, I wanted his, didn't I? That's alright, I'll just bring up his. And we should be able to search it for crop circles. Can't see. It's very small print there.
Hoaxes. Crop circle hoaxes.
Crop circles. Crop circle. What's his tag?
Hoaxes.
UFO. No, UFO of interest. You got this format you have to type in on Twitter to be able to find things. So it only brings up his tweets. Hopefully I got it right. UFO interest.
No results.
I spelled it wrong, that's why. Look at that. Told you I can't see today, but I'll try. What if I spelled it wrong? That's his name, isn't it? Interest. Oh no, look, I've got it wrong, haven't I? No, interest, that's right. UFO, no, I've got an I in it. There you go. That should be an O. Damn, I'm getting it all wrong, huh? So you should be picking it up for me, Charles, because you're on a big screen. So, okay. So, Francesco Grassi did it again. New crop circle made by Franceschi and his team in Blend, Italy. So they made that one. And they have video evidence of them making it, right? And of course, you've got these ones here, down here. We know that crop circles are just land darts. Spoiler, the one on the left, background, someone wanted to imply that Bill Gates was involved in the spread of C19. So it looks like a little virus. Obviously it's man-made, right? It's got the man-made emblem there. So he lists lots of these ones up, right?
They're still very clever making them that size.
Francesco in Italy again. So of course he lives in Italy himself, so a lot of these ones are from Italy. And he translates it to English for us. So here they go, they're talking about how they design it online. So as you can see, there's quite a few here. He's got going back a few years, 2016 here. Another group. Thought you had a lot more than that, but I don't trust Twitter to be very accurate at finding old posts. But anyway, getting back to how the crop circles bend. I'm not sure if I can find some images. Crop circle wheat shaft. Let's see if I can find some images. None of those. I'm looking for something technical here. Normally I would have this pre-prepped, so I can just bring up the image that I'm after. Where they did analysis on bending. Yeah, nothing seems to be popping up. I'll just zoom out a bit. Side-by-side comparisons I was looking for. What's that one? Right, there was some here, wasn't it? These ones, is that the ones? That might be it. Although the picture's very small. Ooh, and the website's terrible. So, not the best of websites, but hopefully it's got what we're looking for. All these people talking about the design of it. Encoded message from the aliens, right?
That's what they like us to believe.
Linda Molten Howe gets right into this, so we're getting into her in a minute. So apparently this was meant to be like the Voyager 1 being sent out that appeared in the crop field. But instead it's been replaced by what man sent with apparently what aliens changed it to. So that's going to be our DNA. And they've shown the DNA is slightly different on that side, I think it is. And of course they got some sort of special transmitter instead of a radio dish. Pretty much everything else is the same, is it? Apart from the DNA sequence. And they got a little alien there instead of a human. Someone's really clever, right? But anyway, let's see if we can find what I'm looking for. There's quite a lot on this page, but it's very badly formatted, isn't it? Who underlines everything like that? Like they're shouting at you, right? Okay. So that one you can see seems to be bent without snapping, right? A deformed node as well. But I can explain what I'm going to explain here. So broken stem next to bruised stem. So that one looks like it's been stepped on. Rope boards, right? So they're trying to compare it. Bent off the Golden Hill 2009. Saying that the stem's naturally sort of bent over, right? And some exploded. I'm just trying to see if they've got any of those ones here. That might be it here. Wheat stems bent by energy, they're saying. They're saying it's done by microwaves, right? Change the plant rape versus wheat. So it seems to always bend at the node here by the looks of it. Looks like it's been cooked even. So we'll just get over that and go over all that. And here you got these ones that explode, right? On the nodes again. Which would make them really easy to bend over with a board as well. The question is, if the crop circles have found a way to make it easier to bend and keep the crop down, that would make sense, right? So you got to think outside the box here. Could aliens only be involved? No, is the answer to that. But these guys that study all this stuff, they get caught up in the alien thing and they push it because they make lots of money from it, of course. Okay, so that's what we're trying to talk about here, is the stems exploding. So normally when they board, they get cracked in the stem here, right? But as you saw, some of them grew up to the node where it bends. We'll draw that in a minute. And carries on up here. And we're not really worried about the top of it. And then down here you have the node. Alright, and somehow they're saying this gets cooked or heated up, right? Which kind of gives you the aha moment. How would it got energy? UFO using energy to bend it over naturally? Or could humans have done it, you know, out in a paddock where there's no electricity? So we'll just go over that in more detail, what I think may be happening, and no one's come out about it. So in here, it creates exploding nodes. Fill that in. Creates these little explosions, which then makes it really easy to bend it, right? It's not working so well here. Why is it not filling it in?
It's basically like a knee joint, isn't it?
Oh, there you go, it's filling it in. So it creates these little explosions there. Or it seems to sink in as the other method. So it seems to be multiple methods, but it's all related to that node there. I think it could easily be done nowadays. You know, they talk about these crop circles using ATVs. I better bring up a picture of one so you know what I'm talking about. I'll just keep that one open for the time being. ATV. All-terrain vehicles, right? So one of these things here, like a little motorbike that don't make too much noise, and you could just drive around in the crop circles. So what I was thinking is, if I can get one that looks pretty good here, one of these ones here with the back thing on them. Was there a better one here? That one there has a back on it, sort of. That has a roll cage. A lot of them have roll cages now. See, that's a good one there. Have all these little backs on it. That's the standard one here with a small passenger seat or something you could put fishing rods on or whatever. But something like this makes it ideal. So if you could imagine this, you could put a portable generator in the back, like a petrol generator for electricity. So that means you would have portable electricity, but they make a lot of sound. I'm pretty sure you probably could build some soundproofing around the box of it. Really, I'd like to draw a picture of what I mean, but there's another way in doing it. If you stuck a whole rack of batteries, truck batteries on the back, they've got quite a bit of 50 amps, 100 amp per hour, and then they run dry. There's quite a lot of amperage, right? So if you had a whole stack of those, which they use for RVs, right? So solar panels to it. You could easily charge them up, and you'd have a portable power source where you put it through a rectifier. Those out there know about electronics. It basically converts DC electricity. How's it going, Area 51? Yeah. Got SARS, coronavirus, RNA vaccine today. Oh, right, okay. Hopefully the vaccine is safe. There's a lot of worry about it. Of course, it's the new strain. They reckon it was ineffective to the new strain. I hear contradiction reports and everything.
Some are saying it's all right, and some are saying it's not.
We'll find out in time, I guess.
Yeah.
It might reduce your workload there on the ambulance, right? Okay, so let's back to the crop circles now. Where was my thoughts? Rectifier. Rectifier. Don't ask me how to spell it. I think that's how you spell it. Rectifier. DC to AC. So that means you can plug a normal appliance in, right? Electrical device that converts alternating AC, which apparently reverses direction to DC, but it also goes the other way too. As well as DC to AC, there you go. And don't know if we got any pictures of them, but you normally have it in UPSs that give you backup power when you get a power cut at home. And they get quite warm. And they use capacitors, as you can see. And everything can go wrong on them, but the ones I bought for the house cost like $500 each, and you have to change the batteries every 3 years. And the batteries is where the bulk of the money is. As you know, batteries are very expensive. So these are rectifying circuits. We won't go into all the electronics and what it does. But basically, these are diodes, and it blocks current going one direction. So what it does is it changes a sine wave to a constant direction, which is DC. DC is direct current. So it sort of irons out the curve into a straight line, basically.
Area 51 said video is frozen. It seems to be okay by me. I'm watching, so it seems okay.
It says it's excellent connection here.
Yeah, this says video is frozen.
It's got to be your end, I say. Are you on Wi-Fi or 5G?
It's running okay here. Because I've got it
on. I haven't got it playing here because I didn't want to use up the CPU, but I'll just check. Looks like it's.
Well, I'm watching on it now, and it's still live.
I think it's only about 5 seconds behind on my one. It's looking pretty good here as well.
Yep.
I was trying to find an image of what it looks like UPSs, so I'll just put in a UPS so you can see what generally a battery with a rectifier built into it looks like. Let's put Postman up. And uninterruptible power supply, it normally stands for computer. I don't know if. So these boxes here is normally what you get for your house, and you have it next to your computer table. Now we got those throughout the house here that powers up the main lounge TV and also the fiber coming into the house. We also have one that powers up the router in the kitchen and another one in the computer room, as we call it, which has also the rest of the routers and also a media server and other things in there. And there can be lots of batteries in it, or single batteries, depending how long you want it to keep your equipment going for. So I've got a 3 battery system. It gives 2000 amp voltages, and it should be able to run your laptop pretty much all day long. But some of these obviously switch off when there's not enough current, and you want to get a decent one that doesn't switch off. And you can turn off the alarm if you've got it in your bedroom. So I've got one also in my bedroom here that I use on the laptop. That smooths out the power. Hey, yes, I saw you spent your vouchers. Not sure if you got the goods yet.
I was just going to tell him that.
Yeah, it's
we haven't got ours
yet. Yeah, overseas it takes a bit longer, but in America, I think it's almost like 2-day delivery. Yeah. Alright, so that's what UPSs are. So what I'm thinking of is if you could use one of these little black boxes connected to a whole bank of truck batteries, you would have endless AC output that you can plug in. Quite powerful devices, including ones that actually create steam or microwaves. And of course, if you heard about the UFOs use microwaves to explode the stems that we're talking about here. Where was it going? The picture, I had it here a minute ago, where it allows the wheat to bend over. Alright, now here on the nodes. Okay, so there's 2 ways in doing it. I was thinking, so we got the power sorted out where it doesn't make much noise using batteries, and all you need to do is create like a wand system that I'm not sure if you've seen how the disco steam machines work, where they shoot out a lot of smoke in disco clubs. But it has like a front part of it with a core around the front of it. I'll see if I can draw a picture. How do I clear this one? No. So let's draw up a device which I think someone could build and actually put it and demonstrate it working. I don't think anyone has. So you got your battery bank, right? The batteries, and you got it going off into the other box, which is your rectifier, and I'll just do a different shape for that one. So you got the battery, you got DC to AC, and you can plug it into any other device then. Just undo that. So you can do a microwave. Now, there's one theory that humans could be using microwaves to make it easier to bend, or you could put it through a steam like a smoke machine. So a smoke machine normally has like a box of tricks in it, and inside there is at the very nozzle is a cored out chunk of aluminium, and around the outside they make a core. I'm not sure if I can do a core or not. Have I got a core?
Tube.
Have I got a circular thing that looks like a spring here at all? Got trucks, cars, and all sorts down there. Can't see anything that's like a core by any chance. Stars. Looks like I'm gonna have to try and draw it. Target. So I'd like to be able to add to that list, import different ones. I must be able to. Anyway, I need to do a different color now. Let's see if I can draw it for you. So, we've got a coil, which generally looks like that. It goes back and forth around the tube, right? And sideways, so it looks like a wire right next door to each other. And as you know, you got copper wire that goes around in a circle, but you put higher amps through it. It heats up very quickly. You might have seen some of those elements on heaters. What do we call them? Electric heaters.
Yeah, the wires that round them. Yeah, wires around.
Cool on electric heater. Like that.
Yeah.
And of course, if you put that will be a cooking element on an oven, where you put 10 amps through, and this thing starts to glow, right? Gets very hot, 200 Celsius or whatever that is Fahrenheit, quite hot, 3D burns and higher sort of thing. But that's what I'm talking about. So what's this, the smoke machine? What it does is it's got a mixture of let's see, natural oils, like cooking oil. It's actually got cooking oil and some other additives in it, which makes it turn into like a big cloud, a white cloud that comes out where light from disco lights hits it, and everybody thinks it's very cool. And it doesn't upset asthmatics as much. They used to use some sort of other chemicals and powders, which were better, but they were sort of like scented. But now they just use vegetable oil, I think it is, a certain purity of it, and they just pipe it through this hot thing in the end, and out shoots a load of white steam at the end here. So
Simple but clever.
geez, don't I know a lot of crap.
Oh.
I was after the cone shape one. Pyramid, cone shape. So that comes out the end here. We have to get it right. I want to stretch it. So it shoots out a big bank of 3D steam. And in here, obviously, it's the electronics for it. And the capacitors. And it puts it through low voltage but high amperage, and it heats up very quickly, and bang-o. So what you need to do is, and you can also get ones that actually brew a cup of tea, doing the same principle. So instead of doing a smoke machine, it can pump water through, and it creates instant hot water out the other end. Now if you put less water in and make this thing long enough, out the end you get steam as well. So you can actually make a steam gun. So what I'm thinking is, if you put it on one of these RTV bikes with out each side like a lawnmower, you know how a lawnmower looks. I'll just find a ride-on mower. They're kind of like an RTV ride-on mower. Like these, where it has the things coming out the sides. All you need is like those steam wands out the side here, which shoot steam at the edge of the crop circle going around this direction, and have an onboard GPS, right? And basically it could drive itself. It would be driving around really slowly, and you could just have someone sitting there just following the pattern on the screen, and the steam wand would shoot out steam and cause the node to cook, and then they'd have like at the back of it like a roller, right? So, I'm not sure if any of these ones have a roller. So it could be something like this one here, that's one here.
You drag them along, can't
Yeah, so I was thinking all you need is a roller, and you just follow the GPS on the thing and make a crop circle within a few hours, you know, or whatever. Or maybe even less if you're doing it that way. But how would they do it in the past, you know? This is what they could be doing now to knock out the more complex ones. But let's
so I
see.
just gotta say they didn't have GPS years ago.
Yeah, so I have got another idea. Oh, here we go. Look, it looks a bit like what I'm talking about, where it has the aluminium thing with the steam coming out. But this is actually a roller. So there you go. Here's a roller being towed behind it. So if you cook the edge of the crop circle and then have a roller crush it down, you'd easily form your shapes, right? Or you can have a team of people that need to make the more geometric ones where they could use the board on top straight after the machine has cooked the node at the right level and all that sort of business. But there's another way you can do it. The steam one particularly would be easy. All you need like a backpack like this. Backpack. Have I got it right? Yeah, you've seen what a backpack is. You could put easily a truck battery in one of those and just carry it on your back. And you could heat up the element to form the steam and just use a car window washer ejector. You know how it washes the screen. So a car window washer for wiper. Let's see if it comes up. It's like a 12-volt thing, so it could easily run off a truck battery in the backpack. And you can see here they got wands, right? So it's the one that runs a little motor and injects water onto the screen. They can shoot quite a fair distance, as you know, and I modified one for my bedroom aircon. So as the aircon was dripping water into a bucket, I had a sensor when it gets to a certain height would turn on the car window washer from an old car and eject it out the window into the garden, and that way I didn't have to keep an eye on it. So yeah, that was quite easy to do with a simple circuit. But I was hoping to find what the little motor looks like. It's like a little water pump, and it's self-enclosed, and you just have one end that sucks up the water and the other end that shoots it out. It makes a great water pistol too. You could make a 12-volt water pistol that shoots for miles, and you always win the water pistol then. But yeah, so you could make a backpack for people where they go around with a wand like a blind man wand, like a blind man has. Let's see, like this here, and at the end it lets out the steam, and you just goes around the edge of the crop circle cooking the nodes at night. And of course you would have LED lights or some form of light system, which doesn't if you have it directed, it doesn't show up for miles, so the farmer wouldn't see what was going on, because obviously the wheat is quite high, and if you just got a torch or something, you're not going to really show yourself up, right? So yeah, you could swing that around and cook the node on the wheat and use a board or your feet to press it down, or someone follows behind, right?
Yeah.
The other theory is using microwave energy. As you know, it cooks from the inside out, and it creates the pops, like popcorn, causes the things to pop. We had some pictures of it popping here. There's the other theory, exploded by energy. The same principle could be applied. I thought that you could do a microwave wand, right? So instead of this ejecting a bunch of steam, which obviously cooks the node a wee bit and makes it easy to bend over, you could explode the node, which then makes it very weak on the node, which then you can stamp it down without breaking it, right? So obviously microwave's a bit more dangerous, but you can wear metal gloves and the wire mesh gloves
for protection.
Microwave protection. Uses like a mesh where you could put gloves on. There you go, rectangle anti-radiation around your bed. As you know, microwaves have this in the door, right?
Because you could make it like a bee suit.
Yeah, but if you got it on an ATV, right? You don't even have to.
Walk around with it like that. You could have something like that.
Yeah, if it's directed microwave right outside the wand, I think it would be fairly safe, and you could just wear some basic protection as well. Or you could have it on one of these ATVs, right? And of course, we use it in low energy situations for transmitting data, right? That's how 5G and all the rest of it works, for 3G, 2G. But I was actually trying to find cloven. And obviously you can get it. So yeah, it doesn't need aliens is what I'm saying. Because I think different than most people, and I think how can we possibly duplicate it, and no one, as far as I know, has tried this. So here you go. Radiation shielding cloven. I suppose it's got metal threads in there. Caps. So here you got suits. Let's see. Microwave
Black
protection.
Ones.
There you go. Look, you know.
Black ones, so you can't be seen at night as well.
Made with special metal filaments. There you go. You got another one. Very rare Vietnam one. But yeah, it's out there. Here's one for a pregnant woman. Of course, a lot of these people play on the scare factor, right? But some people are sort of sensitive to microwaves, they believe. Bit like where people are sort of allergic to bees more than others. The saying could be that they can feel the burning on their skin and eyes a lot more than other people, and they're more sensitive to it. Of course, this doesn't rule out some of them being done by UFOs, of course, but I'm just putting this theory forward because I have thought about it in the past, and I put it forward to Cogswell and said, what do you think of this idea? And he said, yeah, it's very feasible. So there you go. So this gets us onto Linda Molten Howe crop circles where she got caught out. I don't think a lot of these people that in ufology actually understand science and electronics, and unlike them, I used to mod things, I used to pull things apart, fix electronics, and I just know some basic electronics. My dad used to teach it, and yeah, that's just how our household works, right?
Yeah.
So, before we get on to Linda, maybe I should look at that. I was going to recap. I'll recap at the end. Okay, we'll just keep on with the crop circles. Okay, so exposing pseudo astronomy podcast show notes, episode 101. So I probably want to read out this page here because a lot of the links have been covered up now, removed and stuff, and but it's going to be talking about, if I've still got it here, this famous crop circle here. And I'm not sure if anyone was around listening to Coast to Coast, but Linda Molten Howe was on there keeping us up to date on the aliens making this complex crop circle and a lot of government stuff around it, keeping people away from it. But when you break down the story, so this proves how much she believes what she's told, rather than being a critical investigator. She just sucks it all up and puts it out there and gets everybody suckered along and subbing to her and paying her money and all that sort of stuff, right?
You know, I think people believe what with their eyes, don't they? What they see.
Yeah, if I saw that straight away, I'd think man-made, you know, because it looks like a silicon chip to me, just looking at that without thinking too much about it, right? So, but we'll go through the story of how Linda Howe got caught out in this one big time. Take everything with a grain of what? Salt that's been clipped off here, I think.
Looks like salt.
Anyway, I'll just get it to read out because a lot of you may have come after the story and not heard about it. And I tried to find all the links so I could bring it to you properly, but as you know, after they get egg on their face, they cover up their tracks, right? And hope people forget and move on and still take them seriously as investigators. So, yeah, we'll just see how it reads anyway.
Homepage. Tree of episode topics. Archives.
Damn.
Feedback.
Okay, looks like we're going to have to select it the hard way. You can see it's quite a big story and how it sort of pans out. That's Linda Molten Howe for you. So let's try that again. Where is it?
Episode 101, The Cheweller Barley Field Crop Circle, and reporting on it by Linda Molten Howe. Download the episode.
We can't, because it's gone.
Recap. A mysterious crop circle appeared during the night of December 27th to 28th, 2013, in Cheweller, California. Security guards quickly came to guard the circle, and then it was mysteriously plowed under just a few days later. Crop circle researchers point to numerous lines of evidence that this was made by aliens, but it was later revealed to be a publicity stunt by NVIDIA. Or was it? Puzzler for episode 101. How could you tell if something was done by extraterrestrials? Answer to puzzler from episode 94. Thanks to all of you who participated, including Richard, Ryan, Jan, and Warwick. Several of you got that this was actually a trick question, and you can blame Leonard who sent this in for that. A nautical mile is defined as the distance corresponding to 1 arc minute on a sphere, which is 1/60th of a degree. So, the length of a nautical mile will change for any object in the solar system that you're on, and there will always be the same number of nautical miles around any given object. Since there are always 360 degrees in a circle and 60 minutes in a degree, then there will always be 21,600 nautical miles around the circumference of the object in question. Unless you take the definition of a nautical mile from Earth's sphere, which would then give the circumference of the Moon at about 5,894 nautical miles. Q&A. There was no Q&A for this episode. Additional materials.
So obviously this is
audio
a transcript.
Clips used. Coast to Coast AM from January 3, 2014. George Norrie interviewing Linda Molten Howe. References. One image of the circle, attributed to WPTV. Linda Molten Howe's 3-part series.
Saw that
Part
before.
1, Part 2, Part 3. CropCircleConnector.com's write-up. NASA Solar System Simulator. TechCrunch. Mysterious computer chip crop circle is an NVIDIA publicity stunt. Update, confirmed.
There you go.
Additional media references, provided by former guest, episode 62,
Told you it
Bill
was a
Hudson.
chip.
Cheweller crop circle makers. Cheweller should feel included via the Monterey Herald. Cheweller crop circle whips up online frenzy. brings out onlookers via the Monterey Herald. Locals wonder who or what created Chueller farm crop circles via KSBW News. Unexplained crop circle found on Chueller farm via KION News.
So this is all the
Salinas
fake
crop
news,
circle behind the
MSN.
scenes with NVIDIA on YouTube, produced by NVIDIA. Logical fallacies / critical thinking terms addressed in this episode: sacred cow, argument from authority, argument from ignorance, anomaly hunting. Relevant posts on my Exposing Pseudoastronomy blog. Announcement post for this episode. Transcript.
Yeah, here we go.
Claim. The specific claim in this episode is that in a field of crops barley, in this case a mysterious crop circle appeared that was likely made by aliens. It was investigated by crop circle enthusiasts, who pointed to a lot of evidence that proved it could not have been made by people. Supposedly. And one of those people was the reporter from earthfiles.com, Linda Molten Howe. One of the very first requests I ever got from a listener was to do an episode about her claims. More general claim. This actually gets to a more general claim of crop circles that I've been wanting to do an episode on for a long time, but I haven't had a good example to work from. This one, however, is excellent. The background. The evening of Friday to Saturday night, December 27th to 28th, 2013, there were reports of dogs barking all night, which was very unusual. On Saturday, December 28th, 2013,
Spooky.
a strange pattern roughly 250 feet across appeared in a field of barley in Chueller, Choolr, California. The field was later found to be owned by Scott and Debbie Anthony, who were conveniently on vacation. They said they had no knowledge of it.
Yeah.
It was photographed by professional aerial photographer, Julie Belanger, on Monday, December 30th, when she was en route to another job. She told a local NBC News affiliate, the pattern was so unique in the middle of a field. I don't know what it is supposed to be, but it is beautiful. The part of the quote that Linda Molten Howe did not give was the follow-up. I believe it's possible that aliens exist, but I don't know if they would bother making a crop circle to give us a message. One reader of Earth Files, Paul Jacobs, who studies these in England and elsewhere, wrote for CropCircleConnector.com on December 31st, no one in the area has made claim to it, and the locals had no knowledge of it, or its construction. I estimate it would have taken 3 men working in daylight conditions doing 9-hour shifts for nearly 9 days to complete this pattern. My gut feeling is we have an important event on our hands here.
Well, he didn't say
Other
it was
field
aliens.
researchers, such as Jeff Krause and David Mendez, talked with at least one local resident, who told them that, just 4 weeks ago, he had seen green lights in a triangular pattern on one large aerial craft nearby. Later that day, Echelon Security out of San Jose, California, showed up. They were hired by some unknown agency to guard the field and formation, and they would not let anyone in to take readings and measurements.
Men in
Coast
Black.
to Coast AM, January 3rd, 2014, Hour 1, starting 1341. LMH, they are a major security operation.
That's Linda Molten Howe.
And keep that in mind when you realize that this Ben Johnson, an Echelon security guard, tells reporter Philip Molnar that Echelon was hired on Saturday, December 28th, to quickly get to the Chueller barley field and keep people out of the pattern. George Norrie, who sent them? LMH, exactly. Who hired this is a lot of money, and it happened right on the day that the pattern emerged for the first time. Who knew? How did they know? One of the security guards told a reporter that he thought the formation was a menace or menacing and a warning. Already, there were some rumblings among locals saying they had seen ladders and 20 to 30.
This is actually quite good, really, because this shows all the hype around the crop circle, right, and all the speculation, right?
Yeah.
And it's starting from the beginning of it to the end of it, which is obviously NVIDIA come clean and said they made it for a publicity stunt to advertise their new video chip, right?
Yeah.
20 to 30 people working, but those reports were quickly dismissed by professional crop circle researchers. Coast to Coast AM, January 3rd, 2014, Hour 1, starting 1248, then 1721. LMH, I want to go to this quote, people with ladders that were seen in the pattern that was seen in the pattern, that was reported by TV and other media New Year's Eve. George Norrie, and me. LMH, well, it's not correct, and let me give you the background. This is where sometimes the media is frustrating because it's rip and read news, there's no investigation, there's no reality. George Norrie,
Linda Molten
that's
Howe
why we
does
have you here,
investigate.
Linda. LMH, laughs, that's right. Now what happened? Well, you had echelon security guards and vans arrive there on Saturday, December 28th, after the pattern emerged, and then on Sunday, December 29th, one 85-year-old retiree, Harry Johnson, was interviewed by a local TV station and said that he saw people in the barley pattern along with ONE 30-feet ladder leaning against a telephone pole at the south end of the barley field. Well, reporters, Jeff Krause and David Mendez had also talked with eyewitnesses who watched echelon security use rope in the pattern to apparently measure it, and that apparently took place on Sunday, when Mr. Johnson perhaps he overstated, and maybe the local TV station overstated, and that's where the people with ladders in the field. But on December 31st, in the afternoon, the crop circle was plowed away. The field owners refused to answer questions. Coast to Coast AM, January 3, 2014, Hour 1, starting 15:18. Now, later, after a New Year's Eve, the Anthonys told one Monterey Herald reporter that they had been on vacation, they knew nothing about the pattern, and when, reporter, Philip Molnar called to ask them if they are the people who hired Echelon, and also ordered the destruction of the barley crop on New Year's Eve, the Anthonys have never returned Molnar's call, even as of today, when I last talked with him. As Linda would say, this reeks of high strangeness. Before I move on, a little bit more about Ms. Howe. She is an Emmy Award-winning reporter, an investigative journalist, and she runs the earthfiles.com website. When it comes to practically anything other than what people have claimed is related to aliens, I have personally been impressed with her reporting and objectivity, including standing up to George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM to say that she trusted what the doctors were saying about the flu rather than what conspiracy people were saying. But when it comes to lights in the sky, cattle mutilations, crop circles, or anything like that, her reporting is among the most credulous I've seen. As you'll experience throughout this episode. The formation. I highly recommend folks listening at home or work, or wherever they can safely access the internet go, and take a look at the formation. It's pretty neat. There's an outer ring with 3 large circles embedded in it. There's a square or rectangular outline within the ring, and in each section, between the ring and square outline, there's more squares and rectangles. Within the large square, there is a very intricate design that includes Morse code and Braille. I have a few photos of it up on the website, but any Google or other internet search will show them. I don't doubt that it would have taken several people several hours to do. If it were done by humans. Various evidentiary claims, magnetic readings. With that in mind, let's get into some of the claimed evidence for the circle being made by not humans. Coast to Coast AM, January 3, 2014, Hour 1, starting 16:31. One of the guards was willing to carry Jeff's magnetometer into what we're calling the Western Circle on the ring, where the needle jumped from a low around 43 Gauss CGS units to 58 Gauss CGS units. What Linda didn't say here but did on her website is that the magnetometer that Jeff was using was an application on his iPad. Jeff wrote, the measurements were taken by holding my iPad just above each sampling point in that Western Circle. I believe the calibration of the app to be accurate as I have tested it previously on different devices and situations.
Not a proper
Various
device,
evidentiary claims, smoothly bent barley. On January 2, 2014, Sean Randall, a consciousness studies researcher, who's investigated lots of English crop circles since 2002, decided to drive to the plowed no longer pattern. She wanted to get some plant and soil samples that she could study. She later told Linda, Coast to Coast AM, January 3, 2014, Hour 1, starting 21:43. What struck me in walking onto the ploughed Chualer barley pattern on January 2nd was finding the smooth bends of the crop flat at the soil level, just like the magic bends of English crop formations. It's one of those things that we all have looked for. According to the Earth Files website, the unbroken, not creased magical bends flat to the ground that have been famous in United Kingdom crop formations since the late 1980s onward. The hypothesis is that a spinning plasma vortex containing microwave and other energies is focused rapidly onto crops or grasses by an unknown force that creates the genuinely mysterious formations that are not man-made.
Because I explained it, what
Also,
you can do.
Sean Randall, who has investigated dozens of crop formations in England since 2002, examined the lopped-off growth nodes at the end of the barley. She couldn't match them up to the smoothly bent stems because they had been chopped off when the field was plowed, but she said that some of them looked darker than others, and she wonders if heat energy was involved in making the Chualer barley pattern. She also gathered some plant and soil samples, hoping that she could get labs to test it, figure out the exact barley species, examine the plant and soil samples to figure out if there was anything out of the ordinary, to figure out if there was a reason why the circle was formed in that field. Various evidentiary claims, perfect angles. Another bit of evidentiary information comes from Jeff Krause, who said, those rectangular lines were incredibly straight and very precise. The barley was laid down right along the edge and right next to those, like someone had used a square tool. Other barley was standing perfectly straight right next to the downed crop. It was such a sharp angle, it was like someone had taken a cookie cutter and pressed down on it. The delineations where the ring of flattened barley is versus the standing barley were phenomenal. Various evidentiary claims, mathematical language of Braille. While the formation is interesting, there are some languages embedded within it. One of those is the 3 rows of Braille in the centermost rectangle. It reads 192/192//2 or B 192/1//192
Internet address to the website.
Clearly, there's a theme. Coast to Coast AM, January 3rd, 2014, Hour 1, starting 31:37. We've had so many 1-9-2s from the outside going in. What could 1-9-2 relate to?
Internet address.
Linda lists several possibilities on her website. It's an even number. It's the sum of 10 consecutive prime numbers. It's a composite number, meaning it can be factored into 2 and 3. It may be related to iridium-192, which is a radioactive isotope of iridium with a half-life of about 74 days that could be used to make a dirty bomb.
So this is where a computer tech like myself easily sees that as a regular internet address. So when you have a local area network, you're always given a number that you can use in your household that doesn't conflict with the internet addresses. And internet addresses for LAN come in 2 forms. Let's see, have we got one that actually lists it for us? It might list it for us on one of these. Let's see. The 10 range. There's a 172 range, right? And also the most regular one, the 192.168 range. I think they said B, did they? They may be reading the 8. Where was it now? B up here.
No,
2 or B.
3, 4, 5 times 192 comes up on it.
Yeah. They said they're not sure though. 192.1. But yeah, definitely related to internet address, right? So we know 192 is used for LAN, so 192.192, probably if you investigate it, 192.192, and you normally put the other numbers as X's, right? So it's normally 4 numbers. Internet address, ownership, probably turn out to be NVIDIA or something like that. Okay, so someone's asking who owns that. No one does. It's a reserved number. There you go. 1921X. There we go. What's that one? Owned by Microsoft, is it? Oh, here we go. IP address. If they're both a host name or internet address. Let's have a look at that one. So they might be using it like a, because it's normally 192.168 home, but it looks like it might be also another address used for devices, right? Program controllers, which kind of sounds like NVIDIA would use for their chips, right? Here's 192.192 repeated 4 times. What are they saying about that one? Damn PDF. Why can't we just get a simple text file, for Christ's sake, guys?
Things are never simple.
Never simple when you're trying to find information about it. Just trying to find out what they're using it for. Looks like it might be something they use on Microsoft controllers. I was hoping to find a quick reference to it. So let's type that in maybe. Because I think that's what it was saying, it's a repeating number of 1924 times, wasn't it? So you think someone would put that in Google, or Linda Molten Howe would put that in Google and search for that number, right? Okay, what's that saying here?
Taiwan.
There you go. Taiwan Network Center. Is it going to Taiwan? Everywhere, Taiwan. Is that where they make the chip? Is it? Maybe? Could be. Academic network. IP address. Let's see what else comes up. Taiwan seems to be coming up regularly. Spam address.
Ones in America are probably come up with California or something, wouldn't they?
Okay, let's do a who-s on it. Let's see what this says. This is how you normally look up internet numbers. And it's come up with Taiwan again. And education. So you think Linda Molten Howe would be onto that and see where it all sort of connects to, right?
We found it easy enough.
Asian Pacific Network Information. South Brisbane. And of course they make crop circles over there too, right? So that's who owns it then.
Yeah.
And what did they use it for? That's the question. What's that? Looks like it's used on their network. So, yeah. Where's NVIDIA made is the next question. Is it Taiwan? NVIDIA chips manufactured, made. Country. Does it say anything about Taiwan?
Yeah.
Where? Alright, at
Taiwan's
the top.
Yeah.
There you go. We solved the mystery with a couple of internet searches there, see?
Yeah.
It's easy, isn't it? Because I haven't looked at this before, because I never paid much attention to it. But I was just saying how easy it is when you got knowledge, how you can figure this stuff out. So 192, 192, 192, and it's got a 1 at the end, or 192 again, I'm not too sure. But still, it looks like 4 192s, which link to NVIDIA Taiwan. Who owns it? So let's carry on reading. Let's see how wonderful Linda Molten Howe's research goes.
Bomb. It's the starting 3 digits of an IP address on a private network, and AES 192 is one of the advanced encryption standards in cryptography. STS 192.
So she was heading in the right direction there with the internet, and then I'm not sure why she didn't put the 4 numbers together. So she lost her way there, right?
STS 192 is an internet network.
Yeah, what's it stopping for? We've crashed it. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
What's happened there?
I'm here. You just touched the screen with it.
It still should be reading.
Transmission.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It started again.
Designation and bandwidth. OC192 is a network line with fast transmission speeds 192, 192, 2007 GX45
she's looking at
is
everything
an
under the sun
discovered
here.
April 14, 2007 in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Or number 192 Memorandum National Security Action by President
She's
John
gone
F.
off course,
Kennedy
hasn't she?
was a separate arms control measure for outer space that was sent to the Secretaries of State and Defense and the directors of NASA, the CIA, and the Arms Control and Disarmament Agency. Various evidentiary claims, mathematical language of outer circles. But 192 appears not only in the Braille, but also it's coded in the outer circles and ring. If you look at the outer 250 ft diameter ring as a clock face, with north pointing to 12 o'clock, then the largest circle embedded in the ring is at the 1 o'clock position. The second largest circle is at the 9 o'clock position, and the third circle is at the 2 o'clock position. 1-9-2, again. What could this mean? Well, Crop Circle researcher Mark Wood, who's a U.S. Naval Flight Officer and Captain, retired, who holds a B.S. in Aerospace Engineering from Georgia Tech and a M.S. in Ocean Engineering from Florida Atlantic University, and is a registered professional mechanical engineer, and was screened for Aviation Command and various other things, wrote to Linda. He found a solar system simulator and ran time forward, 192 days, from the Crop Circle's formation on December 28, 2013, to July 8, 2014. What he found was amazing. In the inner solar system, Earth will be at the 1 o'clock position, Venus will be at the 9 o'clock position, and Mars will be at the 2 o'clock position. Note that Earth is the largest of the 3 planets, and appears at the 1 o'clock position just like the largest disk in the Chueller-Barley pattern. Venus is next in size, and it appears in the 9 o'clock position like the Chueller pattern. And finally Mars is the smallest of the 3, and
So
it
did they
appears in the
encode
2
that
o'clock
in there?
position,
Just see if anyone found out?
1-9-2. Now, why is this date important? Why indeed? Coast to Coast AM, January 3rd, 2014, Hour 1, starting 30:09. This number, 1-9-2, that's in the outer circle, possibly. It gets us 192 days to a date that we didn't know it would match. The configuration.
It's amazing how
We
they
just
went
did
off
this as an
course here.
experiment. Various evidentiary claims,
Yeah, but
mathematical
they're backing up
language
what
of
they're
Morse
saying.
code. The Morse code is a different question.
No, it
An
is
Australian
wrong.
retired geneticist, Horace Drew, who's also a crop circle researcher, said that it was ETB//ISON//STS. ISON could refer to Comet ISON. But an Oregon ham radio operator, who remained nameless on her website, said it was different. Clockwise, from the right side first, it could be TMNBETBT. Counterclockwise it could be STHMT, or STHO, or TVTE. If it were American Morse code instead of international, it would be TMHBETBL, or
amazing what they go into, isn't it?
VHMTLVTS.
Yeah.
Coast to Coast AM, January 3rd,
get lost with all this.
2014, Hour 1, starting 37:24. He said, "What's interesting is that, the combination that you get out of this in letters, to us, it doesn't make any logical sense at this point. But it is there to contemplate." But, he also said, the numbers 192 in the middle could be significant. That might be the radioactive cloud coming from Fukushima power plant with the big dose of rads. It might go over that area in question, central coast of California, with that 192 number isotope as the...
So this reminds me of that notebook from that Roswell documentary that's going on at the moment, and everybody's looking at the code, 77 and all that sort of stuff. So I did a quick search on that and found that 77 related to a constellation, which is in the same constellation where the Dyson sphere thing was meant to have been found, right? So I said, could it be hinting at some discovery there back in the 1950s? So yeah, I posted it on the Facebook group to see, to throw some people some clues. And of course you can see how it goes. People get all these different clues, right? They go different directions with decoding secret information in books, right?
Well, I think somebody realised that they were going in the wrong direction there. That they got to a dead end.
Yeah. They started off correct, looking at the numbers in the internet, and then they sort of got skew-whiffed there, right? And then they started looking at star maps and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of interesting, though. But they may have embedded some of that information into it as well to throw them off track, right? And see what they made of it all, right? And then sort of come out clean.
Check them somewhere, but then it took them to a dead end now. They were lost.
But they were trying to send them to Taiwan, the manufacturer of it, right? So anyway.
Yeah.
The prominent isotope. Circles on ring. The outer circles appear to be orbital information, indicating the time of arrival in that region. I would think whatever direction the orbits go in the planet circles would be the direction to read the code. Maybe timing is the key to reading these things. Various evidentiary
Those
claims,
clever
camera
aliens.
sensor. Another reader of Linda's site said that it looked to her like a camera CCD sensor. She pointed to many points of similarity, and she wrote, "If ET, non-terrestrial, we might be meant to see this formation as a powerful demonstration of the entity's ability to investigate our human technology, and also to harvest it regardless of our wishes."
Yes, it's always
the
aliens.
use of Braille is another aspect of this, but I have no explanation for the repeated use of numerals 192. They may mean something to the module designer, as a registration number, or perhaps to NASA, as an identification to a surveillance satellite camera. We will probably never know the full story here, but it bothers someone. What really happened? What really happened was that this was a marketing stunt by the graphics card maker, NVIDIA. They paid the Anthonys for use of their field, paid for security, and paid people to make the formation. The 1-9-2 refers to the number of parallel processing cores in the chip they were making,
There you go.
and that this was a marketing stunt for. And it sure as heck got a lot of free publicity. I wish I had come up with the idea. But what about all those lines of evidence? Well, let's go back and look at them.
So I think they missed a chunk here. I think maybe I solved something they didn't right away, yeah? Not only is it that, even though it's the internet address as well for their network where they make it, but it's also number of processors, parallel processing cores. So if I can get that many inside a video card, why haven't I got them in laptop? Because I need it for my live shows.
More power.
Yeah.
One was that we had reports of dogs barking. Easily explained by a bunch of trucks carrying workers around the night before.
Yep.
Another was strange lights 4 weeks earlier. That is useless information that has nothing to do with this. A counterpiece of evidence that was dismissed was guys with ladders. Well, guess we can't dismiss that as easily as Linda and others would have liked. We have the security company hired by an unknown person or group, and the owners of the field refusing to answer further questions. That is mystery-mongering and could be explained by anything. In fact, it's better explained by a marketing stunt, a company that wants to protect the field from looky-loos like these crop circle researchers due to their contract with the field's owner. And they want to protect their marketing tool. Plowing it just a few days later? Who knows? It can't be used to point to ETs or anything else. Magnetic readings?
Damn.
Well, an uncalibrated iPad app being used as a detailed magnetometer with readings reported by a security guard back to a crop circle researcher. I don't put much stock in those.
No.
And regardless, that can be thrown
Jeff
off by
Krause
almost
stuffed
anything
up again.
without proper controls in place. Then there's the smoothly bent barley stems. I have heard this claim made over and over that if you have a human making a crop circle, they break the stems, but in real crop circles made by not humans, the stems are just smoothly bent and not broken. To me, this has been one of the stupider claims, since I, someone who has never tried to make a crop circle tromping through fields of cereal grains, have bent stalks over and gasp. They didn't break. So yeah, to me, this being claimed evidence that this is a genuine as in non-human made crop circle, is pretty silly.
Stupid.
Perfect angles can be explained by anything, people or...
Again, if you had truck with a heated up steam coming out the nozzle and just heated up the thing, you could bend it over the same way, right? Well, it'd make it easier to stomp it down, right? So, yeah, I don't know if they use steam at all. That's my feeling. It'd make it a lot easier to make it. But anyway, so it just shows... how we can't take all these crop circle researchers seriously because they're so, what do you say, knee deep in it or neck deep in it, that they can't see, what's the term? They can't see the clouds for the sky or whatever. What's the term I'm trying to look for there?
I think you're not far off.
Not far wrong. Can't see shit because they got too much in their eyes. I don't know. Anyway.
Can't see the sky for the clouds.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, the saying is. But me, I see this. I see through all this now. I don't know why. It's just easy to me to see why people go off road, right, and go in the wrong direction completely. But hopefully people are learning from me by watching this and see how my thought process worked there, because I've heard about this because I was actually listening to this show and I thought this is entertaining and cobblers at the same time, and it's going to turn out to be man-made, and sure enough it was. And that's before I got on and started making my own channel, because this is 2013 to 14. And I was actually following some of the UFO documentaries and coast-to-coast stuff, thinking that there was serious podcast research on it, and they were just making money from fantasy, right? So I started up my own channel to expose a lot of this nonsense out there, but no one listens, of course, unfortunately.
Do you think they're all fake?
Who's fake?
The crop
The radio
circles,
shows. I don't think all. No, I don't think all of them. I think some of them are made naturally, maybe with vortex winds, and like they said, you know, there's a lot of energy in vortexes that could also heat up, change a heat signature around the ground where it's swinging around and actually make the stems bend, you know, a lot easier. There's all sorts of things we don't know. With eddies, or whatever you call them, the little small, what the small ones called, not eddies, I think it's in water, the ones that work in the air anyway, but
the whirlwind type things.
Yeah, I think you'll find if you have it spinning around into a point, the temperature may actually heat up rather than cool down, and help form patterns through the thing. So how would that work?
A lot of these things are in the summer times as well, aren't they, when it's warm as well?
The other theory is there's something in the soil. It's in circular patterns, a bit like mushroom fields, where you get the pattern, where the wheat doesn't grow in the same fashion and gets distorted nodes on it, where it's sort of where it's easily bends over or something. So it could be a combination of winds and the soil samples. There's maybe something in it that causes the wheat or whatever to grow different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's looking at a scientific way. But often you talk about Occam's razor. How's that spelt? I always spell it wrong. Which is the easiest assumptions, least assumptions, or the easiest explanation is normally the correct one, right? Is it Occam's razor? Occam's razor? I'm not sure if it's scams or razor. Here we go. Right, OCCAM apostrophe S.
Occam's.
I'm not sure. Am I saying it wrong? Occam's. Have we got a little
Occam's.
Can we get it speech it then?
Occam's.
I almost got it. Come on, play ball with me. Oh look, it's doing crazy stuff. I just want those two words. Okay.
You got it.
Speech one.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Okay. Or Occam's razor. So they got a way it's sounded out with syllables here, I think. Let's see if that sounds the same.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Yeah, Occam's razor. It's the principle from philosophy. Suppose there exists two explanations for an occurrence, aliens or humans. In this case, the one that requires the smallest number of assumptions is usually correct. Another way of saying that is that more assumptions you have to make, the more unlikely explanation. So the simplest answer is always the correct one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get back to this. We're almost getting to the end here. So this guy's breaking it down for us now.
Or ETs-wise, at least. Various claims were made that you'd need military-grade surveying equipment to make a 90 degrees angle and really straight, but that's kinda bull. A few laser pointers and right angle tool would do the trick. And NVIDIA kinda has a lot of money they could throw around for some decent quick surveying equipment. Not that hard. Then there's the Braille. Obviously it's Braille, and 1-9-2 was explained as the number of processors in their chip. I think it makes more sense for some earthly source to put down Braille as opposed to ETs. The big circles on the outside, that seems to be one of those 1% things, something you put there with forethought, but think maybe 1% of your audience will get. The largest circle at 1 o'clock, second largest at 9 o'clock, third at 2 o'clock again, gives you 1-9-2, the number of cores. It does not correspond to the positions of the planets 192 days from when the crop circle formed. If you use a solar system simulator, and place Earth at 1 o'clock, Venus is at 9:22, and Mars is at 2:25. Yeah, kinda close-ish to 1-9-2, but it is far from the exact match that was claimed. To me, this is anomaly hunting with a lot of hand-waving, and a large margin of accepted error. The Morse code? Maybe it wasn't Morse code, it was just random design elements to make it more interesting. Or it was just random Morse code letters that didn't correspond to anything about their marketing attempt. I haven't spoken with the designer, so I don't really know. Refusal to believe.
That's
But
UFO
none
people.
of this means that the story is over. In fact, many ardent crop circle enthusiasts have refused to accept invidious admission. From cropcircleconnector.com. All we actually have here are claims, stories and confusion throughout. No actual proof or video of constructional process.
Actually, there is.
It just does not seem credible that this massive formation
I'll
was
play it in
created
the middle
first go
in a
without
minute.
mistakes, and without being noticed by either passing terrestrial or airborne traffic in the days leading up to it being reported. A CC like this could not be rushed, as the accuracy in geometry and coding are vital components. Why a chip company would want to use Braille coding without stated reason or explanation, I really don't know. On the ground, the pattern's sheer size would be daunting. According to the NVIDIA spokesman, they worked quickly. This point puzzles me. I repeat, just creating a perfect circle with such a radius would be immensely challenging. One would also
Obviously
need
not.
continuous live aerial verification to ensure complete confidence and
A ladder.
accuracy of the pattern as seen from above. If mistake made, what then? Again I say, just couldn't be rushed. Ask a
Wrong.
qualified surveyor. The dialogue surrounding NVIDIA is most probably part of an ongoing disinformation process. John look hair type. Just an amusing thought, and also that of a commercial company jumping onto an opportunity to promote a new product. It would seem that the people concerned are just making things up as they go along. The videos prove nothing at all in truth, just a few people milling around in a field at double speed, odd that, and some green flashing lights in the other, all is based on inference and suggestion. Should be obvious to even the most gullible in our midst. To her sorta credit, Linda removed the 3-part series from the main page of her site.
There you go.
But it's still in the archives, and I don't see any notice about a retraction.
No.
But others are much
Gotta
like
make-
the crop circle connector guy refusing to believe the admission that
That's exactly what happens with third phase of the moon stuff too, isn't it? They keep it online still and don't put any debunked or solved in the title, right? They're meant to have changed, of course. Linda Molten Howe is exactly saying, why put in that it's been solved when you can have more gullible people find it in searches years later that knows nothing about the story that I'm showing you now.
And she's still making money from it.
Advertising, on the page or whatever.
that this was just a PR stunt. Because, of course, how could humans possibly have done something like that? Or the pyramids, right? Lesson?
That sounds like what Goofon would say.
If you're an experienced skeptic listening to this, you may have been playing a spot the logical fallacy game for this episode so far. I count 3 major ones. The most significant is anomaly hunting with an argument from ignorance twist, searching for something that you think is weird and don't know how to explain, therefore aliens. The third is the argument from authority, where Linda made sure to point out in a several-line paragraph the various credentials of several people whose information that Ms. Howe used. The issue really boils down to a simple one: if you don't know how something was done, don't jump to aliens. I think that a lot of these investigators, when they go out and make all these claims about how much of a genuine ET crop circle this particular example is as opposed to a human-made one, and then it's revealed to be something like a PR stunt, well, they lose any credibility they had.
Not Linda.
Their only recourse is to claim that it's a conspiracy, that they really are correct, and that all of the admission of it being a PR
That sounds
stunt
like Linda.
or whatnot is just a cover story. Really, that's all they have to go off at this point, and it's what people have been saying for years, since the original crop circle makers in England admitted to it. In this wrap-up lesson, I should also say that this was not at all meant to be a hit piece on Linda Molten Howe. As I said earlier, I admire some of her reporting. What it is meant to show is that everyone has their sacred cows, and when you believe in something, your ability to distinguish between fantasy and reality, and do that hard, journalistic investigative reporting is severely compromised.
Typical
Provide your
mainstream
comments.
media as well.
Yeah.
Provide your comments. Of course, this was obviously scraped from another page somewhere. Probably to back it up, right? Probably. But there you go. I thought that was pretty good. I'm not sure if you liked that or not.
Yes, I did. It's
And
interesting.
of course, we have actually got a video of them actually making it, I think, here. Let me just have a look.
But that one.
I think it might be here. Crop
The same
Circle
one.
behind the scenes. There you go. December. So, you know how that guy was saying, I don't believe they made it. So this is a video on it. I'm not sure how safe it is to play. It's in video. It's got copyright. Do we do some fakery on it just in case? I suppose we could. We haven't done the...
Play a little bit, but
We could do some pitch shifting on it. I think it should be safe. It should be like a news article, right? Let's try deeper, maybe. Let's have a look.
better to be safe than sorry.
I'll crop it a wee bit up the top here. Should be fair use.
So
Now.
we're out here in Chular, California, and the reason we're here is because we want to do something monumental to mark the moment in time where the Tegra K1 has arrived. The Tegra K1 brings a lot more
There's the
horsepower
ladder.
and a lot more power savings to mobile processors, but at the same time, the GPU, which is the Kepler GPU, is the same one that's all the way up our line into the supercomputer range, and that brings with it DirectX 11, it brings OpenGL, it also brings tessellation, all these things that you're used to seeing in supercomputers and PCs and workstations, but it's finally coming to mobile. You know, the fact that we've made advancements on so many fronts made us come up with the tagline impossibly advanced. And when you think impossibly advanced, there's all kinds of creative directions your mind could go, one of which obviously is to think about this is an earthly technology. And
Talking
what
about
says
advertising.
otherworldly and iconic other than a crop circle?
Crop circles have
Amazing
always
stuff.
had an attachment to UFO mythology. I belong to a long tradition of artists who work with artworks that borderline on the paranormal, that involve artists that perform anonymously and invisibly.
There you go.
At their most powerful when they're considered to be something else, something non-human.
This project for us was kind of interesting because the lead time usually is a month or 2 months just to get everything in place, to find the field, to do the diagrams. And the lead time on this was, 2 weeks or something? Kind of in the lead up to Christmas as well, which is just like slightly insane.
So the design of the crop circle is inspired by the Tegra K1 itself. It has 4 CPU cores and a 5th power saving core. It also has 192 GPUs. These are the Kepler GPUs. We've created a stylized version of that, which the circle makers have imprinted into the ground. In the center of it, what we would call the field of GPUs, they actually spell out 192 in Braille. And then as you go further out, you'll see circles in an orbit, a round orbit around the chip itself.
This design is very different from the kind of work that we do with our art practice because real crop circles have a lot of kind of repeated geometry, so you can actually do something that looks very kind of visually complex, but in terms of surveying it's actually very quick and easy. This design doesn't fit into that category. It's actually quite complex and challenging to create.
Our audience is people who want to look beyond the human, look towards the other. And, for us that's part of a creative partnership between us and our audience.
These chips are going to be found in phones. They're going to be found in tablets. They're going to be
Yeah,
found
well,
in
let's
autos.
see. I thought they were going to make it, but obviously not.
Desktops running Android. When it comes to anything that uses the ARM architecture, this is going to be the fastest chip in the universe.
Yeah, I would like to see them making it. That's more like an advertising thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see if we can actually find better.
There's another farmers, and that's conveniently gone an old deal, gone away, hadn't they? While they were doing it.
Well, they obviously got the trip paid for, right? They said, "Oh, we'll pay for your trip away and all that sort of business. Give you money for the damages and easy peasy, isn't it?" Crop Circle. How it was made. Obviously, that guy was denying it was a cover-up. As an idiot. Thought maybe that had them making part of it in this video, but behind the scenes, no. What's Vice? We've got something there. The truth is out there. No, it doesn't look like it, does it? What's that one? 2 Brits reveal behind circles. Yeah, they're stamping it down, you see.
Yeah.
Without breaking the stems, I assume. But if you had hot water there, I'm pretty sure that'd make it less likely to break the stems, is what I'm saying. And the ones with the popped nodes might be some sort of new experiment they were doing using the microwave wand idea, and you just swipe it around and it sort of magically bends over for you without having to stomp it, right? It's all sorts of things you could do. Here we go. What's that one say?
California giant circles appearing.
Looks like it's a news thing, right? Flying helicopter over it for a news channel. Another one.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, it's all the same one. Ken.com crop circle. Who would want him on a crop circle? There's that one again. News channel talking about it. I was hoping that we're going to see behind the scenes. It was actually behind the scenes, but it ended up being an advertising hit piece. Unfortunately. Looks like we're not going to get it. Yeah, I just wanted to see them actually making it to prove that guy wrong, that it couldn't be aliens. Looks like we've got some hand sandwiches here, so that's cool. I'm starting to get a bit hungry. Yeah, so it's a bit disappointing. I thought I had found the true behind the scenes. Crop circles debunked. There you go. I think most of them are humans behind it. Really, they should pay compensation to the farmers if they do it underhandedly for the crop loss, right? They really should.
Yeah, they should do.
Anyway, see what you can find if you want to find out more on it. We spent, what, 2 hours on it?
It's been good, that is. I enjoyed that.
There's a video there as well. My first crop circle of the year. That's it. Well, I should have given you the links on the side chat though. But you can get to the video on here. That's where I found it. I thought the behind the scenes was a true behind the scenes, but yeah, a bit disappointed about that video. So, Linda Molten Howe's famous covered up. Well, she put it in the archive. Famous. archived crop circle. And I'll post a link to it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of newcomers that think Linda Molten Howe's great and all that.
I don't know. Do I?
She's not critical thinking enough, and although she does try to get things wrong, but she's on everywhere. When she gets something excited, she's on every podcast under the sun trying to promote it and get traffic to her site. It's all about money with her, you know.
That picture there with that little girl. Did you the one that said what that chap was at the back?
Yeah, I'll break
Did
it
you
down
get
for.
it out?
Yeah, it's all solved. I solved it.
Yeah. I remember you doing something about that. One of the old ones. So, I mean, that could have been one of the suits that they wore to put that spray.
Yeah, the Solway man, it's called. Okay, so the original story was the father was out with the daughter, and he took a picture, and it looks like she's got a spaceman on the head in a suit.
Yeah.
But you know, all things are not equal. It turns out to be that there was another person with him called their mother. And when you start to look at the negatives and scan it in properly and take away the overexposure, everything comes clear. So what looks like a white suit there because of overexposure turns out to be a normal person's arm and a dress.
In the back of the head.
In the back of the head, and a bun or whatever it is.
Yeah, I see it now.
Right,
Well, some say it's an alien, isn't it?
Our friend from Paranormal Breakdown, which I'll post the link, has summed it up nicely here. And he found another image. I don't think I had it on my live stream, but I may have. But I just thought I'd recap this again because obviously it's doing the rounds again. So it's called the Solway Man Debunked.
Yeah. We'll see, they've got a new generation coming through, see, now that's what
the guy taking the photograph, though, should have known this. So, obviously it was about money again. Getting paid for news reporters.
So I thought, hey, hang on, that looks like an alien. Boy, we could make some money out of this.
Party now on KTEL Records at all participants.
I'll just move it on a bit.
It's been sitting around in my to-do file for years, and I have decided to finally get around to these old gems. The Solway Firth Spaceman was also known as the Solway Spaceman or the Cumberland Spaceman, which is what I remember it as. It's a figure seen in a photograph taken in 1964 by a fireman, photographer, and local historian Jim Templeton. The picture was taken in a field overlooking the Solway Firth in Cumbria, England. Templeton said the only other people on the marsh at that time were a couple of old women sitting in a car at the far end of the marsh. In a letter to the Daily Mail in 2002, Templeton stated, quote, I took these pictures of my daughter Elizabeth in a similar pose and was shocked when the middle picture came back from the developers displaying what looks like a spaceman in the background. Templeton insists that he did not see the figure until after his photographs were developed, and analysts at Kodak confirmed that the photograph was genuine. And it is genuine. The problem I had in making a video about it was the fact that a person would really have to be gullible or very dumb not to reason this one out for themselves. I mean, let's say, for example, that we don't believe this is a quote-unquote spaceman. Then what could it be? A person? Of course it's a person. Or someone could believe that there was a spaceman who was out walking around on a bright sunny day in a field in the immediate proximity of a photographer and his daughter, without the man noticing. Right there. Yeah, like, boy, what a beautiful picture I'm about to take of you, honey. Hey, could you move out of the way a little bit there, Mr. Space? Anyway, you can see the reason for my hesitation. It sat there in my files unused for years. The photo had been analyzed and digitalized and homogenized and Simonized for decades, and the so-called photographer must not have been that good since he failed to recognize a shot that was overexposed. It washed out the color of the hair and the colors in the blouse that belonged to the guy's wife, who was right there with them the whole time. Failing to recognize...
Yep, this is same dress.
There she is there. I just muted it while I was eating sandwich.
Yeah, you can see the same colour dress.
There's the dress, and you can't quite see her hair on that one. Well, I don't think I've seen this photo before, but when you unexpose the other one, it matches up.
Between the back of his wife and a spaceman, he sent the photograph into the Daily Mail, who paid him some cool cash for it. So either this man was very stupid or very slick, but that is the only mystery surrounding this tale of an unearthly spaceman photo, and thanks for watching.
Where was the image?
Clever guy did the newspapers.
Where's the one beforehand? Where they've reversed it. Did you have it on here? Where you can see the clear dress on it.
I'll send that one.
I thought you had the image here somewhere of it reversed. I know I've got a better image myself.
The dress anyway.
Well, you can see it looks like it's got a bit around the arm here.
Flowery.
But a ponytail, is it, coming down?
You can see long hair. It's all around the side of her. He's a clever guy doing the newspapers. Getting some money off them.
Sounds like what Tyler and all the rest of the scam artists were doing, though. Have you checked the audio lately? Because it can corrupt.
Seems fine.
Okay.
I'm looking on the other one as well. It seems to be fine.
Solway photo. Well, I probably could look at my episode. Hasn't been chaptered, but we probably can search it. I think it's searchable. I think I tried to do my own video analysis on it. So here we go. Wasn't that long ago, but it's hanging out on air, so it's well worth bringing up.
Welcome to the Out There channel.
Looks like it wasn't very popular. One upvote, one. I might as well give it a tick to give it at least 2. So it's back to 27. It's back to Hangouts on air, unfortunately.
Live stream 27. So another big channel. Using mu metal and switches and levers.
That was actually quite an interesting episode I knocked out here. Mu metal's what they use in hard drives. Maybe you should have a listen to that one sometime, but it can't be. It sort of redirects the magnetic flow around, protects the spinning disc from magnetic calls and all that sort of business, so it doesn't erase the data. So the thing is, what can't be magnetized and what can, and all that sort of business. So a wee bit of science, yeah. So I can't remember what the topic list was.
Topics on it.
Oh, here, Secure Team was going to make a video about Third Phase making a fake. That information would be really handy, right? And so you can give it to certain people called goofons. New metal and magnets, hard drives.
Skinny Bob down there.
Boyd Bushman. So it's way at the end by looks of it.
Solway SpaceMan, down there.
So it's got to be at the end, is it?
Near the end. Gotta go a long way up with that, I think.
Yeah, it just shows how old it is going back to early live streams.
If you think I'm time stamping all these ones, it took yonks to do all these.
Yeah, but you'll learn a lot in the process, listening to it as you go.
Yeah.
SpaceMan. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking. I think I found some photographs further on. And an article on it as well. $500. Kind of looks like a beekeeper suit there, though, doesn't it? When it's overexposed, it kind of looks like a beekeeper suit. I suppose they call it the man in a spacesuit looking towards us. I would have said it was like a beekeeper was running around in the background, because I see my father running around like that outside at the moment.
Now we know what it is. We can see what it is now. It's a woman.
Yeah, I think it's a ponytail coming down here.
Looks like a ponytail, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look like the back of someone, and it looks like maybe that's a ponytail or hair coming around.
There you go. I said the same thing back in those days.
Looking sideways, looks like a nose there. Nose, maybe mouth there, and hair going to a ponytail.
How important to the analysis?
Probably the mother's, the child's mother.
Oh, here we go.
So has he debunked some other ones, has he?
Here we go. Here's the proper image. Unfortunately, back then it was only on 720p.
That means.
Where's the image gone?
So, is there any other explanations for it?
There's a picture where it's rescanned and unexposed, and you can see it's the same color.
YouTube video, got to say.
So I found this on the way through, right? The unexplained. But these channels never get noticed, right?
That photograph looks a bit better than the one I was looking at.
Now this guy had all the high-risk scans, which I needed to work with.
That has got a watermark there, hasn't it?
Firefighter. Middle image shows a man in a spacesuit standing behind.
Where did I see the photograph of it, though? Where it's properly scanned in. Ah, we did have that one. I didn't think we had it.
People present. Oh, there's his wife with the blue dress that they were talking about in the Wikipedia.
So this guy's doing what I'm doing. He's got hold of the proper photographs though. And he's mucking around with the white balance. There you go, look.
So,
There's the blue top, right? And the arm, and there's a ponytail. And is that a hat as well? Or maybe on the top here?
exposed.
With on that, or cap.
Could be a cap.
Ah,
Could be the back.
so they played around.
So you'd have to put that side with the other photograph after you've processed it, and you can see it's the same woman.
Well, that's good. So you need the original photograph.
So that's in that one there.
Yep.
So just thought I'll bring it up. Why that's got so few watches just shows how much I was hated and still am. How can you debunk that one? And of course, that was still showing up on documentaries all that year and year after, right? You may have heard of Hangar 1. Is it Hangar 1 was doing it as well? And Black Vault was doing his series, was it?
I'll do it.
Black Vault, what was it called? Conspiracy Files, was it?
Pretty sure it.
Solway, man. And they didn't come up with that photo analysis. They kept with the woo-woo as well, didn't they? Solway, SpaceMan, Conspiracy Files, or...
Solved.
Conspiracy Files, and what was the other one called? There was a UFO version, and there was Conspiracy Files that had JFK and all that. What was the other one called?
Not sure.
I'm not too sure what it's called now. Unseen Alien Files. Here we go. So let's see what the summary they're saying there. John B. Wells. Was it John B. Wells series? But he was the narrator of it, wasn't he?
Yep.
Men in Black. 1964. Daughter in which one of the frames appears to be a man in a spacesuit. Well, why didn't they just say it was a beekeeper, you know? That would have made more sense.
In the summer's day. The bees around us.
It was examined, but I don't think they solved it on that show, though, did they? Was that Henry Winkler series, was it?
What's Henry Winkler there?
Yeah, I wonder if he's the owner of that series. I thought it was to do with the Black Vault guy. Who does it? John B. Wells was narrator. Who was behind it? 1 of 12. It doesn't say much about it, does it? Production. Doesn't say Black Vault there, though, does it?
Smart Dog Media.
But I kind of thought the Black Vault guy was actually talking on it, narrating on it as well. I'd have to watch the series again. It's quite a while ago now, isn't it? 2013. History Channel. But yeah, I don't think... See, it's got 7 there. I bet they didn't solve it on it. They left it hanging, right? So it's a good mystery.
Yep.
Anyway.
It's going to be brought for the future, can't it?
Yeah. So that's my episode here with other stuff which is quite interesting. Although it's before they changed the code on Hangouts and it started creating all sorts of crazy corruption. So I posted down the side here a better video debunking Solway. You'll probably look at it after the show, probably. Knowing you now. You want to see what I was saying in the episode. You like my stuff, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You got the
It's
same
breaking-
sort of Christian mindset as I have, and interested in science and facts and seeing how things connect and unraveling the mysteries, right? Hey, look, we got Rene Cruz on there. Clearly didn't learn a thing while watching me.
Or some extraterrestrial aliens. Who would have thought they wouldn't put that on?
So you can see there's a fair bit on that, so I can't remember what I did back then, but I thought it would have been more popular. How many views did we get? 107, you know. So, yeah. Disappointing, really. Disappointing.
Yep.
And of course, no one's watching now. Maybe they'll watch after it's processed and uploaded. But yeah, we need these BitChute users that are subbing to come to Twitch and join in on the live shows. So this is like doing an update. You know, when I do a recap, I sort of add in extra bits and maybe because it's higher quality graphics now too, it's well worth repeating some things. Yeah, and doing it better, and but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I was going to do today. It's only 2 hours 15, but we can have a quick look at some other garbage around the net. So how's these guys going here? So who should we pick? Is there anything on third phase that we need to worry about at the moment?
I haven't done anything, because you know what I've been doing, so you take your pick.
Old Paul the slave driver has got to working after hours.
All through Christmas he's got me working. In Christmas Day.
It's only us two really working on this stuff though, isn't it? So, analysing stuff and putting together a presentation. So where did we get to here? I'm not too sure.
Well, we've done that V.
It looks like it's mostly chat shows and garbage, isn't it? Otherworldly events happen across America. That sounds like chat calling. Countdown to disclosure, the secret technology, more bullshit. And you can't tell me that's not clickbait titles there. TSSA, Robert's covering that tomorrow, so we won't talk about it here now. Talk about members jumping ship, so Robert will be doing that tomorrow, so if you're going to join us.
Yeah.
What just happened in Hawaii?
Actually, I can't get it because I'm mental in the other room.
Right. Remember, you're cutting out now. If you talk at the same time as me, we don't hear you.
Sorry.
I think it's progressively got worse. Okay, so what you need to do is probably drop out and then again. But
I'll do it now.
We'll wait for him to come back then. Get a drink meantime. It's peeing down outside at the moment too. I wish there was a better place to put my cup around here. Are you with us now?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so if I'm talking and you talk, we shouldn't cut out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 8, 9.
Okay, it's back to normal.
Good.
Alright, so something happened over Hawaii again. So last time we thought it was a blimp, right? So turned out to be space debris coming down. Was that when they had the new volcano erupt or something? There was something going on. I'll just skim it. I won't play it. Let's see what garbage they're trying to put up here. Alright, that volcano erupting, wasn't it? Again. And they were using someone else's footage, not their own. That company there.
Yeah. Not good.
Although they got their own drone, they could fly it over top. They probably weren't allowed to, right? Here they are,
That's
sticking it.
old.
That's really old
That's not new
footage.
stuff.
Yeah, it's from the old one they had, right?
Yeah, that's months ago, that is.
Go, Brent, stick your head in it and see if it's hot.
I know it's in the chat, they're all concerned about him being so close to that.
Yeah. Hey, so this is the thing that's happened in Hawaii, is it?
That came down, it was millions of cubic feet of lava. And as you just said, it's not.
So we got this. It looks like a helicopter or plane coming down on long exposure to the volcano, which a lot of these ones generally are. Some scientists flying over it, probably.
20% bigger, and if that fills up, we're talking about much more lava.
Okay, is that what they're talking about? Something long exposure plane.
That is all old footage.
Yeah, it's all old footage, just repeating the same garbage, right? Is this the new footage?
Jonathan from the Code Searcher in regards to this, and we're going to be supplying his original link in the description.
And what is that going to do with UFOs?
So these are all planes. We know we've investigated it before. All of these are planes that landed at the airport.
Evidence from Mexico, and we're looking at
That's a plane coming into land.
Incredible stuff. What's up with these volcanoes? Kalima has the activity, but these
where's my mouse gone?
Astonishing.
Whoops.
We're looking at these lights.
Mouse battery's died.
Oh, yeah. Get it banged.
There's always something going wrong. Yeah, I gotta get up.
Oh, you should get a USB one.
Yeah, I know, but this is the only one that's got the buttons I need, and it works with the software. The new ones may not do what I need, and that's a bit of a risk, because you can't try before you buy, right?
No, that's the problem.
Now, I've already got cable ones in the drawer, but they don't work with the software. Hang on a minute, I've got it.
Some places over here will allow you to try them, and if they don't work right, you can take them back, swap them.
Some of them are really cheaply made too. The Microsoft one here, they're good quality. I've had it for like 20 years now, and it's still working. So
just drop them all on the floor because they just smash up.
Yeah, so this is this cobblers here.
Future, Brent, what's your thoughts on some of these images, these videos?
Planes and helicopters. These guys wouldn't have a clue.
Excellent. And guess what? We're having UFO activity right during an eruption ourselves in Hawaii, and now Mexico. You know, it just the activity there's it's incredible. It just keeps producing, and this is new footage.
What are the cobblers? New footage of a plane or a helicopter lifting off
Mexico, and thanks, Jaime, for allowing us to share this right now. But what are these mysterious lights? What are we looking at? Could they?
That's where you do some investigations, guys. Instead of just putting up cobblers all the time.
Be biological in nature, or possibly
biological. You see what I mean? It's just garbage. But we've talked about this in the past, and of course it's been a bit hard to verify it as planes too, because not all private planes with the bright lights have been registered in the flight tracking software, but because it's all around volcanoes and mountainous terrain, the call signal gets lost between the valleys and stuff, so it doesn't show you the planes, this flight path exactly. So volcano, I'll see if we can find anyone that's debunked it. Volcano, UFOs,
I would have thought with a volcano
planes.
erupting, I would have stayed clear with aeroplanes and stuff going over them.
Let's see what else we got. Probably won't come up. You know how biased the searches are. You probably have to go to someone like Scott Brando's Twitter page and search it rather than this garbage. But they're always on those security cams, and we know what they're like with bugs. Any drone, any helicopter, any plane on one of those is going to look like a UFO. You won't see the blinking light.
Don't scientists fly drones all around volcanoes as well? All around the tops of them?
Yeah, but because of the size and all that sort of thing, the brightness, you can rule out it being a small drone. It has to be a helicopter dropping off hikers on the cliff face, on the volcanic face. You know, and they drop them off and they quickly scamper up the rest of the way, right? Saves them having to walk the full distance. And also you got airports around. Around volcanoes, South America. Well, is it Mexico?
Especially Hawaii.
Airports, Mexico, is it? Around volcanoes. Oh, you probably have to type in the volcano name. You could just look on Google Maps.
No.
I don't know if we're going to find anything doing it this way, but you'll see that they got
trips and stuff.
They got tourists and international airports all around these big volcanoes. You can see how built up it is, and look how close to a volcano these guys are. If that erupted, all those people would be dead, you know, the gas and all that sort of stuff, right? I'm not sure if we're going to see it by images here or not. But you can look at it on Google Earth. What's one of the places called here? Oh, name of the volcano.
Bali.
Yeah. World's scariest airport. There you go. Right next door to a volcano. I know I have brought it up before on the maps. But yeah, they won't. These guys won't tell you that though. They'll say it's all UFOs and aliens. It's what I call fake news channels. Okay, so Mexico, is it, or is it South America? What do we call them? Mexico volcanoes. I'm not sure if it comes up. Volcanoes. Let's see if it gets it on the map. I might pinpoint it. Is that all the volcanoes there? Shit. South America. That's one of them here. Okay, you're going to see how much built up it's going to be, right? So you know there's going to be airports all around these things, right?
That's the one that was showing up. That one, that one.
Mexico City, right next door to them. You know, there's going to be airport there. That one there is the biggest one. One of the biggest ones, is it? Whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pronounce. I've got Popocatépetl, or something like that.
Well, you can see it's right close to cities here. But if you go to satellite view, you'll start to see the airports, I guess. So you can see how big this one is. But you'll find a lot of the cities are pretty close to it. And this one here will have an international airport, probably.
Well, because they've been quiet for a good many years, haven't they? But eventually they'll go.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can Let's see if I can find the airport just by. That looks like it could be an airport around there.
Yeah, there's one there. That's one there.
Was that airport there?
It looks like one there, yeah.
Is it airport? I can't see it saying airport. What's that there saying?
It looked like the shape of one.
It did, but I can't see the shape now.
Disappeared.
Let's see, there's got to be airport. You can see how built up it is, so it's got to be airport here. Should be obvious. We should be able to see it stand out.
None standing out, is there?
Is that one there? It's not the best quality images coming down at the moment.
No. There's a road.
How can we get the map of the volcanoes in airports? And airports? I don't think Google would be that clever, would it? And give us all of it together. Probably just show us the airports now, won't it? Well, there's one. How close to the volcano was it?
That's a busy one.
There it is there. I thought we saw that on the map before. Okay, so where's the volcano? International Airport. Mexico City. Is that a volcano? There it is. One of them. And look how close to the airport it is. So if the camera is this side of the mountain here, it monitors it, and the plane's coming in to land. It looks like a UFO going down into the mouth of the volcano when it's not. And there's another one over here. But there's also little small airports. I'm not sure why it's not showing them. I know there's another airport over here for small planes. I know we saw it on the map before, I think, when we were looking it up. Is that one there? Looks like a runway, does it? Looks like a runway for a plane, right?
Yep.
Let's see how close to the volcano it is. Here it is over this direction here. There you go, it's got an airplane symbol. Bango, bango. And you can bet that the cam for it is on the airport here, right? Airport cam looking at the volcano. So plane's coming in to land there. And the main airport this way somewhere there. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not the only place. Most of them have volcanoes and airports around them. And you can see how rocky it is here, so the call sign stuff doesn't work very well with flight radar. But we did try to pin some past cases, right? Anyway, we won't spend too much time on that one, but you can... we're just counteracting the fake news here with proper critical thinking and science. We're not trying on purpose to debunk stuff, we're just trying to get rid of the noise that these people keep adding into the system. And of course, this will be on UFO Report on Amazon. You can get it for so much dollars a month. $10 a month subscription to watch their stuff. Alright, so if you go to UFO Interest here, and try that crazy search. Probably uses that. What is that name again? I've already forgotten about it. Pepper, or what's the name of it? Catabera. What's the name of the volcano?
What's the one we just looked at?
Yeah, what was it called now?
Pop or something.
Popper.
I
don't
couldn't
know.
even pronounce the damn name.
Yeah, volcano UFO. Okay, just try that with Scott Brando. And here we'll have quite a few on his page. I've probably got some of mine too. Have I typed it in right this time? Or have I still got a spelling mistake? Here we go. Alright, is this the one that we were just looking at? At the bright light. That looks like the moon to me. Here's the latest hoax by Street Cat 1. He's no longer around. Mexico volcano UFO is simply nav landing lights by plane. Let's have a look at this one. Doesn't it look very familiar to what we're just watching on Third Phase?
Yep.
And that's what they look like on those overexposed security cameras, right? And there's probably more here. Plane taken off. Okay, let's have a look at that one. There's the plane taken off from the airport, as we've pointed out, is behind it. See you later, Jumbo Jet. That's a UFO, guys. It's all propaganda and lies and disinformation. No, it's not. Now, what's that one? Didn't seem to do anything. Scott C. Warren's into it as well. Object crossing the screen is a UFO flying over Popocatépetl volcano in Mexico. Nope, it's just an airliner landing this time. Landing. I didn't actually see anything on there. Where's the plane? There's that little streak going that way, is it? Did you see anything there? I didn't see anything.
There's out to the left. Just gone past the hand on the left hand side. It's gone now.
I didn't see it.
Scroll back and you'll see it. There it is. Right, just went past the other hand on the left hand side of the screen.
I don't see it, mate.
You see a white line across there?
Oh, that's it.
Picture.
Oh, that one there?
Yeah, you'll see a plane go across there.
I can barely see that.
There's a plane there, look.
I can't see it.
Just to the right of your hand. Just to the right of that hand.
No, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I'd have to put it through filters for my eyes to see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, security team was onto it too. Again, it's another helicopter or plane, was it? I think one of them, was a helicopter. Is that the one that goes around and sort of lands here, drops off people, and then flies away again?
Actually, I think that was UFO Man that did that.
He did it as well. He copied it.
Yeah.
There we go. I think here we go. Is that a plane? Yeah, that's a plane. But there's one where it actually looks like... Oh no, that's a helicopter one, isn't it? So it looks like it lands on the edge, drops off people.
And then just shot off to the right.
What terrible music, man. What the hell?
That's the same as UFO Man's that he's put up. He's had it off that channel or somewhere.
Look, you can tell it's a helicopter. It's dropping off people. Yeah. In fact, we looked on the map. Me and John looked at the map. There was actually a base camp there.
Yeah.
People go hiking up it, like scientists. He's saying it's an airliner, but I think he's wrong. He said it was an airliner, I think. Is it?
No, well, that was a helicopter.
Oh, right. He said it's a drone taken with a long exposure. I think it was actually a helicopter dropping off hikers. Scott's wrong in this one, I think.
You let it play on, then you'll see it just shoot across the sky to the right.
Yeah, it's not going though, is it? There it goes. It's taken off again. See, to me, that doesn't look big enough to be a drone. You wouldn't see a drone from that distance. It has to be a helicopter.
Yes.
I think Scott's wrong on that one, but still, it's not a UFO as an alien craft. I think it takes off all of a sudden.
It just a big light just streak across the right to the right. It's the same one.
There it goes. Taken off again.
Just up. Yeah.
Dropped off the people or whatever. Goes behind or maybe in front.
And then just...
Yeah, I think it's a helicopter because that would have to be a huge drone, I think, otherwise. There it goes. Come on. There it goes. Long exposure.
That's it went.
There you go. It's a helicopter going off to the little airport that we saw that was on this other side. Okay, got this one here. There's another one. Alleged UFO taken during Popocatépetl, whatever it's called. Just call it popcorn. It's a possible match. Popcorn volcano.
Popcat.
Yeah, so this is an early one. Another plane or helicopter, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's another one coming in.
I think it's on circular loop.
Is it? I can't see the time on the bottom of it.
And he's told you what the flight thing is there for that one.
Yeah.
But you can see the smoke. It's a bit dangerous flying all those planes around that, though, you'd think. But anyway.
Yeah, that's what I said. If it does erupt with all the rocks coming up.
Well, it's not that. Just the smoke and ash can block the engines.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's quite a few here, and now he's matching it up with the actual flight radar for that one we just watched. For the one we just watched, right? So yeah, he's got it. So that one's correct. So yeah, and this is the bullshit that we're getting now. Still pumping the same garbage out there. Jaime Maussan now working with Third Phase of the Moon, apparently. Promoting on Amazon Prime.
Aliens coming down to use these volcanoes as kind of a gas station. Yeah, that's the speculation.
Gas station!
If you're from another planet and you wanted to visit Earth, some of the things you might want to see as a tourist is volcanic activity. It's definitely something to behold, but as we're looking at these images from Jaime and the incredible...
They are a joke, aren't they? You know. Why Google allows them on the net doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Why Amazon's let them on there is beyond me.
Did you actually look at the terms and service, whether they're allowed to pump fake news?
I shall look at it.
Mm.
If I do, I'll report it.
We sure will. We're sick of this noise.
I don't care if I know I'm going to report it. If I can.
Well, Google should be ashamed for themselves for allowing this channel to get so popular. Okay, so that's about it, really, I think. We might just wrap up slightly early today, then.
It's alright, have an early night, then.
Yeah.
I'll put these links up on in the morning.
We've almost done 3 hours here. I could have done some... I'll just have a quick look, skim through some of the images on this. See if there's anything interesting.
You can go up to the 3 hours if you want to, anyway. Not bothered.
Yeah. I think we've done enough for today, though, you know. People probably won't watch this much, you know. It makes this a bit of a waste of time, I find.
Leave that for another time, then.
But if people watch that, they would be better advised on 3 things: crop circles, Solway man, and volcano UFOs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why security cameras are really bad for filming objects moving fast, especially at night time. So you can see here we're getting pretty much the same garbage, right? So spud cam UFOs, which are lights in the sky, which are so disheartening to analyze, because you know it's going to be something mundane, right? Because these people weren't using the apps at the time to aim it at the sky to see if it's a planet, Venus, or airplanes or satellites, alright?
Yeah.
I just seen if there's anything really good here, you know. And you never know, there might be something that pops out that looks interesting. But you can see it's just little dots in the sky going, how boring is it, you know? MUFON must get really bored doing this day in, day out. And that's on page 2 already, and it looks so boring. Page 3.
Yeah, look how many pages there, though. Oh.
Yeah, I know, but it's all pretty much the same, unfortunately.
God's going through all that lot.
Yeah, it's 30 to 40 cases a month.
They'd have to pay me well to go through that stuff, I'll tell you now.
You don't get paid as a MUFON investigator.
I know they don't.
You have to pay for your own course and training, and they don't allow you to close cases until your mentor agrees with your conclusions, you know, and you understand all the tools which you learn here as well. What's this one?
Yeah.
Saw it on NASA footage, was it? Don't know, it looks like it's out of an airplane window, another airplane in the distance. So let's have a look at that one quickly. So what are we looking at here? Now what's happened? Oh, there you go. Saw a shiny object from the window in a high-rise apartment. There you go. What's the chance that it's going to be a plane? Okay, or a drone or something, you know. So, snapped the wrong way. And through a window. So it could be a hoax. We got some reflections there. Kind of looks like it could be a Milo balloon. It looks like it's on a funny angle, which would be with the wind direction. That's my guess so far. Next frame.
Looks like somebody's ring to me. With a diamond on it.
Yeah, I can see how you're seeing that, but of course you know the sun reflects off a Milo balloon, creates these big blobs of light. It looks kind of like a Milo balloon still to me. A typical round flat one, and it looks like it's got a piece of cable hanging off it, is it? Is that what I'm seeing? Looks like it might have something attached to it. Kind of looks like a typical Milo balloon to me. One of those round ones. Of course, we got no way of knowing the size comparison here. To me, it looks like, you know, your typical round Milo balloon. Just type that in and see what comes up. So not a heart-shaped one, but this one of these ones here at the back. So you got the star one, the silver one. Yeah. So we want something like this one here. I think it's something like that one there, rotating around, or one of these ones here, just spinning around in the wind past the building that someone's released, right?
Side on.
Yeah, you've seen it side on, yeah. And it looks like it's just drifted in the wind, but it looks like it's got something hanging down this direction here. But I won't run it through analysis. Have I just got it open? No, I haven't got it open.
Yeah, it does look like something.
Actually, it's got some videos here, so that'll probably see if we can see it rotating and drifting with the wind. So that will make it a lot easier. Ah, it doesn't go very long, does it? Now let's try that again. How do we play it? Oh, here we go. Can you see it? So obviously zoomed in on the photograph.
Yeah, that's a balloon. That's a balloon.
I can't even see it.
I saw it then. It's up. It's in the dark past now. There it is. There, halfway up, just shining.
Yeah. And it's drifting along that way, is it? Is it going this direction? Is it spinning though? Not really.
It's spinning.
Is it spinning?
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
It's in the there halfway.
Oh, what's happened?
Here comes the end of this. The end of the film.
Oh, damn it.
There it is. You see it rotating in the wind.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Looks like a small object being tossed around in the wind that you get in the high rise up there. Another one
Some
debunked.
kids probably lost it on the ground.
That one
Don't
probably
let
has.
go of that balloon. I just bought that for you.
Hmm.
And off it goes.
Yep, Chicago. Oh well, it looked promising. But UFOs, as we know, will keep a perfect levelness and they shoot vertically upwards. So they're the real UFOs as far as I'm concerned. Classic Mexican hat ones. They're not going to spin around and rotate around like that. So it's fairly obvious it's going to be something small. And next page, let's have a quick look. Okay, airplane window, is it? Yeah, it's on the side. So let's have a quick look at that one. And maybe we'll just stop it on this one here. Look at the blurb on that one. Whoa. What a big thing, and it looks like a plane straight away to me. At lower altitude there. Alright, so tick tack, tick
familiar,
tack.
that.
Hey?
That looks familiar to an older one.
Yeah. Looks like one of those long passenger jets.
Yeah.
Looks like it's tapering at the end there, going up to a tower. And again, if you use flight radar, you would be able to see planes covered in to land.
Yeah.
Is that all we got? One picture. I don't think it's worth looking too much into that one either. It's not letting me click. What's going on?
You got stuck.
Yeah, look, it's not responding to my mouse clicks. Mouse is working. No, clicked on that. Nothing.
When we say your batteries are gone, what is your
no, it's not the batteries. Look, I probably can. I can probably mix them. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
That was weird. Here we go. It's getting all my mouse clicks now. Maximizing, minimizing. I think Windows 10 was doing something. So yeah, was there more images? That's what we're trying to find. That's really good. There is land and looks of it under the wing there. Zoom in. There's the airport down there, isn't it? Could be an airport down there.
There's bound to be one down there somewhere.
Yeah, it looks built up. But where's the plane that they were filming?
I can't see it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, you see it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all skew with.
Right. There at the bottom of the screen. Right, left hand side.
There it is there, isn't it? Above the cloud. There's probably several.
Between those two white clouds on the left hand side.
I think you'll find there's probably a couple of planes on this. Planes coming into land, probably.
Yeah.
That one there, is that what you're saying? I don't know.
No.
Wait, is that all of it? Okay, what have we got in this one? Well, look at the terrain. Look at that down there.
No,
River, mountain range, snow caps. So I don't think there's anything in these pictures.
Can't see it now.
Can't see it on that one, but it might be there. But it's bound to be another plane, isn't it? No one for flight radar. But anyway, I think, as usual, we're gonna probably waste our time going through a lot of these ones like we usually do.
Mm.
Now, what's that one? Was that bird lady again? Let's have a look. Can you remember where she was? Oh, that's her. That's her. Warsaw, wasn't it? The bird lady.
Yeah.
You're starting to corrupt again, but we're going to wrap up now. I don't think we've seen that one of hers though. She likes her filters, but doesn't add anything to it, right? It's either a bug or a bird. Wobbling the camera, birds moving. Yeah. They probably already banned her from the site right by now. Anyway,
got a lot of pictures on there though.
Yeah, we won't bother looking at them though. We got to wrap up now.
Okay.
And see you tomorrow if you're joining us with Robert. Hopefully he's still doing it. Although he hasn't replied to me today, I don't think. Let me just check. He's not on Discord now, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Probably have to look after the show.
Yeah.
I don't think he's replied to me. No. I just got 2 comments from you on YouTube with chapters. Well, so you got more work for me already, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you're keeping me busy.
You're keeping me busy. I'm gonna keep you busy.
I want a break.
So do I.
Alright, let's see if we can end this. We'll say goodbye to Pinky. Goodbye, Pinky. I wonder if we've got any more subs we've been on. Let's have a look. It takes a wee while to update. The CPU's slowing it down.
We're on your air ambulance on tonight. Air ambulance.
Yeah, but I wanted to update this thing so it rotates around during my Twitch and all that sort of stuff. Oh look, we did get some more. Hey, it's back over 40. See that? See how much that jumped? Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see. Okay, we'll see if we can end the credits on this. I think Area 50.
When I get up in the morning.
I think Area 51 buggered off. He was having trouble playing on his phone.
Yeah.
You need a decent computer, people.
Yeah. And you do, you keep saying.
Okay, got to open up the right screens here so I can end it. We're ready. Good night to all. Thanks for joining us or watching it offline, or what do you want to call it? Off air, I should say.
Whenever you come to watch. See you, Paul. See you tomorrow.
Alright, see you, mate.
Bye.
Alright, good night. I should really say good night in the side chat too. Good night all. Thanks for watching. Please more on BitChute. Join Twitch and join us. Saturday and Sundays. So tomorrow is not debunked day, that's UFO cases, and today is UFO analysis and debunking, trying to rid the noise and educate people. Gotta end it now.